Port Avenue, approximately 213 feet south of Northwest 36th Street. The entire site is zoned general commercial. The property owner is MSC Port 2 LLC. The applicant is Oxenholt Construction. And the applicant's representative is Jean Belante, the architect. The criteria governing this site plan review decision are found in Chapter 17.32 of the Lincoln City Municipal Code, along with Section 17.52.240, 17.52.100, 17.52.230, and Chapter 17.56. We will, now that I've said all that for the record and for those who may be listening, we'll go around the room, so to speak, and we'll introduce ourselves. And then, because this is a conference call and we're not in a room, so we can't see where we're talking, I will begin with, actually, no. I will have the fire marshal begin with his comments, followed by any questions from Eugene. And then once the fire marshal has completed his comments, then I will go into my comments, followed by any questions from Jean. And then hopefully by then, Dan Wentz will be here and we can go over the public works and engineering comments. So, are you here, Dan?
Yes, yeah, I am.
Okay, perfect. I would ask that when anyone is not speaking, if they could hit mute, that way it decreases background noise and echoing and any types of interference. So we'll start. I will introduce myself. I am Anne-Marie Skinner with the Planning and Community Development Department. And it sounds like we have Stephanie on the phone.
Yeah, Stephanie Reed, City Engineer.
And Dan?
Yeah, this is Dan Wentz, Engineering Tech with Public Works.
And Ed?
Ed Ulrich, North Lincoln Fire and Rescue District, Fire Marshal.
And Jean?
Yes, Jean Belante, Studio 3 Architecture.
Okay. Well, we will get started with the Fire Marshal's comments. Ed, if you would like to take it away.
Okay. Using the drawings that Anne-Marie provided me this morning, the access and water supplies are the only things that I can comment on at this time. Starting with the access, it appears to have a satisfactory 20-foot wide roadway, but there is no site elevation of the building. If the building is 30 feet or higher, it will require an aerial fire apparatus access road, which needs to be 26 feet wide. I've looked at Google Map and see that on Port Avenue, on the east side of the road, which is where the building would be put, there are no overhead obstructions. So if Port Avenue were 26 feet wide, then it would satisfy an aerial fire apparatus road. The requirement for that is found in Section D, as in David, 105 of the Oregon Fire Code. Water supply. The building is a R-type occupancy. As such, it will need to be sprinklered, and the water supply for the sprinkler system will need to be verified via a fire flow test of a hydrant, and that is pursuant to Oregon Fire Code 507.4. And that is the extent of commentary that I would have at this time. Do you have any questions?
I don't, Ed. All of it's pretty straightforward. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. So I will just go ahead and leave the meeting since my portion of it is completed.
All right. Thank you very much, Ed. Have a great day.
You're welcome. You guys have a good one.
Thanks.
Fire Marshal Ed Aldrich
has left the conference.
Okay. This is Anne Marie, Planning Department. And as far as planning comments go, there aren't a lot. And my conditions are very similar, Gene, to the conditions that I placed on the Northwest Port mixed use a little further to the south. I just basically need a landscape plan submitted with the building permit application that shows compliance with all of the landscaping requirements, and I need an exterior lighting plan and photometric analysis that shows compliance with all of the exterior lighting. The building itself is residential, so the commercial design standards don't apply to that. The commercial portion is already developed, and there is no new commercial portion, and there are no mixed-use buildings proposed. So as far as building design standards, there are none that are applicable. I did
David
not
White
is now in the conference.
I did not see building elevations, so I'm not sure the height of the building. So you'll just have to include building elevations as part of your building permit application and make sure that it meets the maximum height requirement. And specifically, you'll need to include a list of the proposed pedestrian amenities along with the cost estimate. Again, that's noted as a condition of approval. So basically, just the landscape plan, the pedestrian amenities, the exterior lighting plan and photometric analysis, and building elevations. And that's it. Use is allowed.
Easy enough.
So, yep.
On the height, Anne-Marie, what is the max height? Is it 30 feet? Or is it
Well, in the
feet?
general, yes, 35 feet.
35 feet, okay. And is that measured to the average of the roof or to the peak of the roof?
It's measured to the highest point.
Okay,
And,
highest point, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it appeared, I would just make this comment, it appeared that you're meeting the front setback requirement because you're across the street from a residential zone. So the building does have to meet the front setback requirement. That it appeared to be the case.
Yeah, and I believe that front setback, is it 5 feet? No. Okay, I can look that up.
Yeah, and I can double check that while Dan is speaking.
Okay.
Okay. So that's it for planning. I will turn it over to the engineering folks.
Okay.
Okay, this is Dan from Public Works. Put together some notes, and I'll just go through and read each of them. And I'll pause after each one if anyone wants to jump in and ask a question. So first, you need to submit engineering plans, stamp by PE, which you've already done. You do need to also apply for a public works permit when you guys put that in. I have had people putting in permit requests without their public works permit, so do make sure to do that. Make sure you keep these on site throughout the course of construction. You need to submit an erosion control plan along with your engineering plans. That also needs to be stamped by a professional engineer. We'll move on to the street improvements. So all of your right-of-way work does need to be shown on the approved plan set. and you do need to make sure that all of your right-of-way improvements are compliant with the ADA accessible guidelines for right-of-way. You do need to install sidewalk, curb, and gutter. It's all noted on your plans, and make the necessary pavement repair along your street frontage. The existing pavement is already not in great shape, and the plans are putting forward, in addition to the 3 different road cuts and panels that are on the road right now, you're proposing another 3 cuts at least. And with that, I think that it's going to be necessary to go ahead and just overlay the frontage of the street there. If you guys have any questions or concerns about that, let me know.
Dan, is that a requirement, or is that just a recommendation, or a suggestion, or a wish list?
If you go out and you look at the road that's there, I would say that you have a full road crossing cut that's existing on the north end of the frontage. You have a half road panel that's cut right in front of your driveway access. You have another triangle-shaped cut panel going all the way down to that catch basin, and then you're proposing another, probably an 8-foot wide cut, and then another 4-foot wide cut, probably for your power, although that's not noted on your plans. So I would say that's a requirement, because in addition to that road already being cut up, you're cutting it up quite a bit more just within your frontage.
So the previous property owners that were to cut into that, they wouldn't be responsible as well for some of that cost?
Well, if I may, this is Stephanie. You need to, with your development, you need to do half street improvements, which gets you all the way to the full center and then a full 12 feet on the other side if needed. So it's really intended to not leave the street cut. As far as what happened, the other ones they don't have a lot of frontage. That one lot is vacant, and so everyone else has had to do, in 101, you have to deal with ODOT and what they want as far as the patchwork, but I mean, it's pretty clear. You guys said the road's going to be cut up too much to leave with all those beams. And it's just a 2-inch overlay along your frontage.
Okay.
So it's really no different than we've had David do, like anchor storage, for example. I mean, most new major developments that come in like that are exposed to a lot of frontage, and unfortunately, like Dan said, the road's already broken up. So,
okay.
Yeah, it is a requirement.
Okay. It is a requirement. Okay.
Yep. So make sure that as you're doing that, you are adhering to the public works standards, making sure your driveway aprons are 6 feet in depth, your sidewalks 4 with rock base under each. That's just a general standards note in the roadway, but that's what it's referring to. I'll move on to stormwater. We can come back if we need to, but all the new impervious area needs to be detained according to the 50-year, or 50% of the 2-year, no, sorry, that's water quality. All of your impervious paving needs to be treated according to 50% of the 2-year 24-hour event. You do have a water quality catch basin noted on the plans, and I'm assuming that's what that is targeted at. You do need to submit your calculations for water quality with your permit application. In addition to the water quality, your increase in total impervious area needs to be detained according to our standards, which is according to the 2, the 10, the 25-year 24-hour rain event. And I'm also assuming that that is what your water quality, or not water quality, but your swale is along the frontage of your property. So again, that looks like it's addressed, but you do need to submit your calculations for that. As far as water and sewer, you all are responsible for ensuring that the existing water is adequate for the fire and the domestic requirements. Typically, The fire marshal likes to see a flow test for the water supply, but as far as domestic, it's just up to you all to verify that that's adequate for your demand. You guys are responsible. Yeah, go ahead, David.
Yeah, real quick. So on our water, we prefer to have those all separately metered. How would that play into the setup for that?
Well, you guys should be metering the multifamily on your side.
Okay.
You should be sub-metering it after the master meter.
Okay, so there's nothing that impacts what you would need from us on that other than our side?
No, I just need to know the sizing of your master meter, whether it's an 1.5 inch, 2 inch, kind of what your main flow is going to be, so I can price that out for our water crews. Okay, thank you. You guys are responsible for the taps and the sewer sizing on the sewer main. I'm guessing it's going to be a 6 inch coming off of the plans. But just make sure you follow our detail and put a clean out there to get to the right away. That's about it. Talked about roadway, talked about utilities, and talked about stormwater. You guys have any questions?
I do not. Oh, actually, there are no right-of-way dedications, are there, Dan, along Port? We're just essentially building off of the existing curb out or in, I guess.
No, the existing right-of-way line lines up with the back of sidewalk, just connecting. You've got a sidewalk to the north and to the south. That should line up with the right-of-way line.
Okay, so we're good then. Okay.
Jean, this is Anne Marie. I double-checked the front setback requirement, and you are across the street from a single-family residential zone, and when that is the case, the front setback is the same as that in the residential zone. In this particular case, since you're doing a structure that is more than one story, the front setback is 7.5 feet, and that's measured from the property line.
Okay. Thank you.
And I will say that this was noticed as 6 units, and the site plan that you gave me 2 days ago shows it as 9. So when I send out the notice of decision, I will include that update. And technically, it should have been noticed with this site plan that gave me, because you changed the layout. So whether or not that'll open us up to appeal, I don't know. But I just wanted to forewarn you of that.
Okay.
And that's all I have. Does anyone have any questions, David or Jean?
I think I'm good. I don't have any questions right now.
Okay. Dan and Stephanie, do you have anything else to add?
Not me.
Thanks.
Okay. Then we will sign off. I will prepare the condition notice, the final document, make sure that I include the comments from Dan and the fire marshal, and I will email it to you guys with that form. You have 30 days to sign that form and get it back to me saying you're accepting the conditions. And I will send out the notice of decision to the property owners within 250 feet. And there's a 12-day appeal period. And other than that, we're good to go. So
Great.
Everyone go forth and have a wonderful day.
Thanks.
Thank you. Stay healthy, everyone. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Goodbye.
AV room. Jean
Has left the conference.